there's one career that is very easy for anyone to get into, and I would consider that to be sales. Sales is very cutthroat, very difficult, but I literally truly believe anyone can be in sales. I got into it about a year ago, and I've gone from being the bottom person in the company to one of the top sales people in the company. And I think that sales is something that I think everyone in life should learn how to do. I think it's helped me in other fields, like let's say my creativity or just trying to be better at getting people on board with an idea. I think sales is something that can really jumpstart a lot of things for people. And I have some simple ideas on how to sell and how I personally sell, and I hope that that would help someone out there. So for me, I think the first thing is developing a sales style. And that can be a myriad of different things. It just depends on what you want to do for how you're going to sell. For me, I try a very relaxed approach. I'm the type of person who tries to make a sale within the first pitch. Usually, either outbound or inbound calls. But this could be, through marketing or other things if you were in a different avenue. And what I can tell you is that the relaxed pitch that I do, I think works best is you're trying to persuade the person that you are a person too, that you are your friend. But you're also trying to persuade them that you're an expert in the field. One thing that I like to do is to lead by example. So if you're trying to sell something to someone, you don't let them pick the product that they want. If they come in with an idea, obviously, you want to follow that. But if they don't have any clue, you're the salesman, you're the one making the pitch. Hear out the customer. Do they sound like they're someone who's affluent? Do they sound like someone who doesn't have a lot of money? Use that to your advantage. Obviously, don't assume. You don't want to assume that someone is one thing or another. And sometimes you're going to give a more broad idea of like, okay, you're not sure what the client wants. Maybe you'll give a more broad idea. But generally, I like to come in with a specific package that I'm thinking about for that customer specifically. If the customer sounds like, I'll search up the serial number or model number of the product they currently have. Is it a high-end product? If it's a high-end product, I'm not going to sell them the lowest-end product we have. That just doesn't make any sense. And obviously, sometimes they still want the low-end product. But, if you see some sort of key indicating factor that they're affluent, maybe how they dress, how they talk, the products that they currently own in their home, pitch them those products first. You can always work your way down. If you start at the bottom, it's a lot harder to go back up. So that's one thing I would say, just be very relaxed on the phone. I like to tell jokes while I'm selling as well, or be silly, or, maybe put some sort of liveliness into the conversation. Like, let's say if I see someone, my name's Dan, and I see another customer named Dan, I'll make a joke about it. Because that's funny, and that's like something people will remember, something that people care about. Because at some level, they care about their own name. They care about hearing their own name. And if you can make some sort of weird connection, they're going to think of you as more of a human being and less of just a mindless sales drone. So that's one way I like to do it. I think another thing is trying to be cognizant of when you're doing like a follow-up. Is this something that's realistically going to get sold on a follow-up? I try to limit my follow-ups on sales calls where I have a strong feeling the customer is not interested, because it's a waste of time. If you are calling people, and they've already told you no once or twice, just drop it. Move on to new calls that are going to be new opportunities. I know sometimes people want to do like tons of follow-ups to try to push a sale, but the sales that usually generally happen come from a relaxed state. Another thing that I like to do is just try to open up the opportunities of what the customer can do. Are there different financing options? Are there different options as a consumer that they can take advantage of? I like to stress this because a lot of times customers don't understand that they have more options. Can you put this on a credit card? Can you put this on, some sort of sales plan? Is there certain benefits if I go with this? The product that I sell currently is something where they can finance it on a credit card. And that can be something that can change and make a sale for you. Giving them those options at the front of a call and then at the end of a call definitely is going to increase your chances of getting them on schedule for a job or for a product to be installed or service to be provided. That's usually the best, is to remind people, because sometimes people forget, especially when you're talking. I talk really fast. I like to sometimes repeat stuff twice just to make sure that a customer is going to hear and engage the data that I've told them about. Trying to be their friend. There's one thing, we have a best price match guarantee at the company I work for. And I make sure to make the customer feel like, when we're going through this sales process, that I would help them out if they were going to take care of that, if they wanted that specific best price match guarantee to be paid out. I explain to them the process, what they need, how they're going to get it, how I'm going to advocate for them. That's one thing. That's another thing, is you want to be their advocate. I never view myself as trying to sell to them. I view myself as their advocate on behalf of them, not on behalf of my company, but on behalf of the customer. And that thing really helps me work on my sales pitch, because I think when people realize that you are helping them out, and you're making them feel better, and you're making them make the right informed decisions, they feel like they can trust you. Any big brand we see, you see these companies, and the ones that really last are ones that we can trust. They're companies that have quality product that's delivered in a quality time, and they ultimately are something that's reliable. You've used it for many times, and you know it's good. So aligning yourself with those values and saying, like, hey, we're consistent, we're quality, we're time efficient, it allows the customer to realize that they're not going to have to stress. They're not going to have to, feel stress when they are working with your company or your service. And this could be applied to anything. This could be applied to YouTube videos. This could be applied to advertising or marketing. All these things could be applied to things that we do on a daily basis here on YouTube. I just think that it would be really interesting, to use these sales tactics outside of the sales industry. I'm trying to really implement these in the videos I start creating now. How do I get people to be interested in my vision as an artist, as a creator, but also as a salesperson? So I don't know if this was like an interesting video, but this was one that I was thinking about. I've been thinking about, like, maybe doing some videos where I kind of talk about being a salesman and learning how to become a salesman. And maybe I'll go into more deep dive of how I learned the whole process. But this is just a little starting video. If this is interesting, great. If this is boring, let me know, okay? You have a good one. Bye-bye.